I thought we will meet up today so that I could get clarity on something kumfuwetu. Kane called me on Friday and asked if the Gubis want to meet up with me on Saturday. I then pushed the meeting to Monday with a view of getting direction from kumfuwetu first today. Please check with him on this and his advice, if I should go or drop them. I don't want to make a mistake on such matters because I believe the center should be one. You see that message?
Correct, I see.
Can you explain what you were asking Sergeant Nkosi to do here and what the context for it was?
Thanks, Asi. I think I was asking here Sergeant Nkosi because I know the CFO, he has got a relationship with Sergeant Nkosi, and when he was requesting me on the 4th of March, he was with Sergeant Nkosi regarding the outstanding payment of Gubis. So I was surprised why should they want to have a meeting with me, because I know that they were liaising with the CFO in this matter.
So you understood Kane's call with you to mean that Gubis want to speak to you about outstanding payments?
Correct.
And you wouldn't meet with Gubis because you wanted first to speak to the CFO to find out what his attitude was to a claim from Gubis for outstanding payments?
Correct. To say they had a meeting with him, they raised this matter with him. I know that, Mr. Mahlangu, called him as he indicated to me, so why wouldn't he call him again in this regard?
Now, who is Mr. Mahlangu? Is that Mr. Calvin Mahlangu?
Correct.
He's a director of Gubis.
Correct.
And when did Mr. Mahlangu indicate to you that he had called the CFO?
I'm saying that's what the CFO indicated to me on the 4th of March when he was requesting my intervention.
So before your intervention on the 4th and the 5th, on the 5th and the 6th,
yes,
you knew that Calvin Mahlangu had called the CFO on the 4th?
That's what he said when he called me, CFO.
Yes. Was it the CFO who called you or Sergeant Nkosi?
Sergeant Nkosi was with the CFO when I spoke to the CFO.
And that was pursuant to the call that Sergeant Nkosi made to you?
Correct.
Now, they told you Calvin Mahlangu of Gubis is complaining about non-payment of invoices.
That's correct.
Now, by this stage, the invoices had all been paid except for the June 2024 invoice, which was from the previous financial year.
Correct.
And what did Kane and Mpofu tell you that Gubis wanted to talk to you about?
It was in relation to that outstanding invoice.
The June invoice?
Correct.
You again, or you this time, choose to involve Sergeant Nkosi yourself. You don't go direct to the CFO. You go to him through Sergeant Nkosi.
That's correct, Asi.
Why?
It's because I know he has a relationship with the CFO, and when he called me, he used Sergeant Nkosi, and he has been speaking to me, as you could have seen, with regard to the feedback of payment through Sergeant Nkosi.
So, although it's now 2 weeks later, you still think that it's appropriate to use Sergeant Nkosi to communicate with the CFO rather than speaking to the CFO directly?
That's how I took it at that particular time, because the CFO never asked for my contact numbers either to speak to me, and he's senior to me. I wouldn't just go and ask for his contact numbers. You
wouldn't ask for the contact numbers of the CFO. Ntwani, you don't want to speak to the CFO directly.
Either in meetings, when we are in meetings at MCAM's meeting or budget meetings and so forth, we speak at that level, but not on through phones and so forth.
Why can't
You
you
are-
just email him?
You are contradicting what you said last week. I'm very sorry, Mr. Chaskasin. You are contradicting what you said last week. Last week you said you accept that it was a matter of the CFO, but you chose this Nkosi route to the CFO purely because you found it convenient. That had nothing to do with you not wanting to contact somebody who is senior to you. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that.
Well, I
Commissioner.
tell you, that was your testimony.
I don't recall that.
Yes, Mr. Chaskasin.
Was it not relatively easy for you to contact the CFO directly?
Under a normal circumstances, that could have been that way, but in most instances, even myself, if I don't have your contact number, it wouldn't be easy for me to pick up that call when you call me.
Why don't you just email him? You've already pushed the meeting into the following week. You get called by Kane on Friday. You've arranged for the meeting to be postponed to Monday. Why don't you just email him?
Since I knew that he has got frequent meetings with Nkosi, or they are seeing each other, or they are talking together, I felt it could be an easiest way for me to check with Sergeant Nkosi.
Deputy Chief, you must have assumed that they are communicating on a daily basis for you to send this message through Sergeant Nkosi. Because if they were only communicating once a week or seeing each other once a week, your message would be delayed by a week. So you sending it through Sergeant Nkosi must mean you knew or you assumed that they are communicating on a daily basis, so that if you send a message to Sergeant Nkosi, it will immediately get through to the CFO.
I know that they are brothers, they talk frequently.
On a daily basis.
I'm not sure on a daily, but they speak frequently, Commissioner.
But you understand my point that if they only spoke once a week or after 2 weeks, your message would be delayed.
Much as I indicate, they frequently speak.
Thanks.
Now, you say, I don't want to make a mistake on such matters because I believe the center should be one. What did you mean there?
The initial approach of Mr. Mahlangu was to speak to the CFO, so I find it amazing that why would he drop the ball to the lower level now, want to engage with me on such matters.
What do you mean the center should be one?
When I said the center should be one, it means communication lines. They should maintain the same communication lines that, they have started.
What is the appropriate communication line in relation to an unpaid invoice? Is one supposed to go straight to the CFO?
No, that's not what it's supposed to happen.
What is supposed to happen?
In this instance, if they were not paid, they were supposed to have been gone to Director Malachi, because they deal with Director Malachi on a daily basis, and either escalate the matter to the Director Finance. If they don't get joy, then escalate it to myself, to the chief, in that sequence.
So why didn't you say to Kane the correct procedure is to go to Director Malachi?
In this case, as they've already started their communication with the CFO, and we didn't know what transpired in their discussions that I should end up, being part of that. They wouldn't sometimes relate the entire things as they've spoken with the CFO.
So because they were able to get to the CFO out of sequence or out of procedure on the 4th of March, you now took the attitude that they must always go first to the CFO.
On this matter of payment, they could have raised it. They've raised it initially with him. They must, I think, finish that matter with the CFO. That was my approach in this instance.
And what was the matter of payment that Kane explained to you they needed to address?
One was the issue of the outstanding invoice, as I indicated that invoice need a report, a post-facto report that must go through to legal for comments, to finance and so forth, with, the mitigation that indicate consequence management, who should be dealt with, who has caused that post-facto report. It should take that route.
So why did that require the CFO's involvement? If you say the process about that invoice is that clear, it must still go internally, including to legal, why is that not the answer you would give to Goobies? Why do you need to redirect them to the CFO?
I gave them, Commissioner, that answer in our meeting to say the people who should start the process to generate a report, they must go and see Director Malachi and so forth.
Yes.
To deal with this matter. And furthermore, because they felt it should be dealt otherwise, then I said, let them then go and see the CFO as they have started. If people got higher authorities, they'll feel it can be done.
So you thought the CFO might decide it can be done differently? Is that why
that's
you were
what
there
they
with them?
believed.
No, I'm asking what you thought. Remember,
No.
you are the one. They ask for a meeting according to you, and you say it has to do with that old invoice. You are the one that says, let them go to the CFO. There must be a reason you send them to the CFO. And now in your explanation, you say you had already told them about the internal processes and the reports that must be issued. You had already explained that, but you still sent them to the CFO. And I'm asking, do you send them to the CFO because you thought the CFO may have a different way, a different solution for them?
No, I never thought as such. I'm saying I explained to them in a meeting what is the process to be undertaken in terms of a post-facto payment. What are the processes that they need to undergo? But people who are sometimes service providers or believe maybe there might be another way to handle it.
Why wasn't your answer simply, I've given it to Kane? Why didn't you just say to Kane, I have explained the process to these people, I don't have a reason to meet with them? If you have given them an explanation, why are you involving the CFO?
The explanation was done in a meeting that we had, Commissioner, with Kane and them.
Yes.
Andrew, and here they were just requesting a meeting.
Yes, and I'm asking you, you
Then
say for the meeting it was to discuss the unpaid invoice. Remember, that's your evidence.
Yes, I did that.
Yes, and I'm
a
saying once
meeting.
you've given them the explanation of the process, and Kane comes back to you and says they want a meeting after you've given them an explanation, why did you not just say, I have nothing more to say, instead of referring to the CFO so that there is only one center, whatever you say in that WhatsApp message?
Commissioner, maybe we are speaking over each other. They requested to meet with me.
Yes.
Then I asked Sergeant Nkosi to say, please check, these Gubis guys want, Kane called me, he said they need a meeting with me. Because I know that they were dealing with the CFOs on this matter of payment. And we met later on, they raised this matter to say there's an outstanding payment. I explained to them the process, what should happen, and so forth. And people, if they are not satisfied, you can't convince them to say this is the route. If they believe either someone is at a higher authority, they think he might come with a different direction to them.
Did they ask to meet with the CFO? Did Kane say to you, these people want to meet with the CFO?
He said they want to meet with me.
So why do you refer them to why do you involve the CFO? Because on your account, you have explained to them, and I understand you completely, so you're not speaking over me in any way, and I'm not speaking over you, whatever you mean by that. I've understood you properly. You say you have explained to them in a meeting with Kane and somebody else, you've explained to them the process that will have to be followed in respect of this old invoice. You say that. Then
Yes.
Kane says to you, they want to meet with you again.
It's not for the second time, Commissioner. We only met once.
Kane told you that Gubis wants to meet with you.
Yes.
At that time, had you explained to Gubis what the problem is, what the
No.
process is? You hadn't.
I hadn't.
Okay. Why don't you meet with them to explain the process? Why do you involve the CFO? Because you've just said to Mr. Chaskalson, these things don't go directly to the CFO. There's a process, an internal process. Why do you not say to Kane, all right, I'll meet with them to explain the process? Why do you say I need permission from the CFO whether to meet with them is really the question.
Commissioner Kane never explained in detail. I only got to understand when we were in a meeting what is their request.
If Kane did not give you the detail, why do you involve the CFO? Exactly the question, that if Kane doesn't give you the detail of what Gubis wants to discuss with you, and therefore you don't know what Gubis wants to discuss with you, why do you involve the CFO? And I want to suggest to you that the reason you would involve the CFO is because you knew from Kane what they want to discuss with you and you thought it's relevant to the CFO. That's the only explanation why, if Kane doesn't tell you the detail, as you say, of what Gubis wants to discuss, you then say, I need permission from the CFO. It's because you knew what they wanted to discuss.
That's not correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Well, look what you say to Sergeant Nkosi. I pushed the meeting to Monday with a view of getting